And next up, we'll tell you about the Bondi massacre and how, while Australia reels from the impact of the Bondi massacre, US Intel Chief Tulsi Gabbard has directly linked the attack to immigration. In a social media post, Gabbard wrote, and I'm quoting here, "The tragic Islamist terror attack against those at Hanukkah celebrations in Australia sadly should not come as a surprise to anyone." She goes on to say that this is a direct result of the massive influx of Islamists to Australia. She goes on to describe Islamists as the greatest threat to the freedom, security, and prosperity of the United States of America and the entire world. The US Intel Chief does not stop there. She further goes on to say that it is perhaps too late for Europe and even Australia, however, not too late for the United States of America. And well, to talk more on this, my colleague Shiv Arur is now joining me live. Shiv, what do you make of the US Intel Chief Tulsi Gabbard coming out in open and citing Islamization of Australia as a fact to what happened at the Bondi Beach?
This is very much in alignment with what the Trump administration has been arguing. You've got Tulsi Gabbard, who's the Director of National Intelligence, blaming Islamism and, the en masse immigration of Islamists into societies like Europe and Australia as being the reason for this increasing number of terror attacks and radicalization. That has proven to be true. It's something that India has also agreed with in the past as well. You've got President Trump, who is Tulsi Gabbard's boss, blaming radical Islamic terrorism. Now, over the last 15 to 20 years, the fact that immigration policies have fallen prey to, all manner of things, whether it is open door policies, open borders, inclusivity, the fallout of what's been happening in West Asia, the woke politics and woke generation politics infecting policy in many of these so-called Western countries, also Australia, has meant that this is no longer just propaganda. This is no longer something that is the subject of social media banter. This is very real, it's very on the ground, and it's something that is demonstrable. Now, radicalization is an issue that India has dealt with quite literally. Homegrown radicalization is something that India is dealing with right now in the wake of the Delhi blasts as well. But the immigration issue is what makes Tulsi Gabbard's words stand out just a little bit more, because many of her critics will see this as the Trump administration and Tulsi Gabbard no less using what has happened on Bondi Beach as a way to reinforce some of the more controversial and contentious measures and steps that the Trump administration plans to take in the near future concerning the United States. And I think using words like Islamism, radical Islamic terrorism, it doesn't come easy in the current global political climate, I can tell you. And that's the reason why it stands out.
Right, Shiv, thanks for sharing your insights on this. Tulsi Gabbard clearly sounding the alarm on Islamic extremism in Australia. Well, she also goes on to say that it's too late for Europe and Australia. Let's now take you through the Islamist menace in Europe. Now, in the United Kingdom, that's in the year 2023, Leeds hospital bomb plot to detonate pressure cooker explosive. Then in 2025, in Manchester, synagogue car ramming on Yom Kippur claiming 2 lives. These are the incidents that have happened in Europe in the past few years. Then in Germany, 2024, Zolligin knife attack by Syrian ISIS supporter, and that attack injured a dozen and also claimed 3 lives. Last year then in Munich, shooting targeted at Israeli diplomatic site. However, nobody was injured in that attack. Then in France, 2023, radicalized Chechen youth. They murdered a school teacher in France in 2023. The same year, tourist killed near Eiffel Tower. Attackers cited vengeance for Muslims. So these are perhaps some list of the Islamist menace in Europe in the past few years. Well, while we are on the Bondi Beach massacre story, let's now take you through the latest revelations so far on the Bondi Beach massacre. Number one, the Bondi I'll ask my producer to show us that wall on the Bondi Beach massacre. Number one is that the Bondi gunman is now charged with 59 offences, 15 counts of murder. This is a 50-year-old father who was killed at the site. Moving on to the next revelation on the Bondi Beach shooting, the fact that the first funeral was held of the victims of the Bondi Beach massacre. Right, so 20 people right now are receiving care in Sydney hospitals. Moving on to the third revelation so far. The father-son duo carried out the attack using 6 firearms, which were then found out in their vehicles. The formal questioning of the 24-year-old shooter, that's the son who is alive, who is in the hospital, is still awaited. And lastly, digital material is being forensically examined so far. So that's the latest when it comes to Bondi Beach massacre and the probe that is going on.
The Bondi Beach attack has once again pushed the global spotlight on the threat of Islamic terrorism and reignited the sharp political debate on radicalisation and security. While Australian authorities continue investigations, leaders in the United States have called out radical Islamist terror.
In Australia, as you know, that was a terrible attack, 11 dead, 29 badly wounded, and that was an anti-Semitic attack, obviously. And I just want to pay my respects to everybody. You probably read it's been a very, very brave person, actually, who went and attacked frontally one of the shooters and saved a lot of lives. So, very brave person who's right now in the hospital, pretty seriously wounded. So, great respect to that man that did that.
U.S. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard called Islamic extremism the greatest threat to global freedom, linking recent attacks to unchecked migration and warning that democracies must act before it's too late. Former US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo echoed similar concerns, saying reluctance to name Islamic extremism only emboldens terrorists. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has said that Sajid Akram and Naveed Akram, the father-son duo who killed 15 people on Sydney's Bondi Beach during a mass shooting, appeared to be driven by Islamic State ideology. Australian police are also investigating a trip taken by the two suspects to the Philippines in the month before the attack. Sajid and Naveed Akram declared the southern city of Davao as their final destination and booked return flights to Sydney. Davao is a large city on the island of Mindanao, a region where Islamist groups have historically operated. NDTV Bureau Report.